analysis with multi-syllable words with a schwa. So this is kind of the most complicated, or as bad as it'll get. So again, spelling analysis is a systematic process for learning how words are read and spelled and analyzing why they are spelled that way. And it's really important, I think, to understand how valuable and how needed a systematic process is for teaching spelling. So a study in 2014 showed that more than half of adults have issues spelling commonly used words. We're not talking about unusual words, but commonly used words. More than half of adults struggle with this. And they also found that 40% of adults rely completely on spell checker. And what they mean by this is that they would be horrified to write anything by hand or have to type anything without spell checking it first before showing it to someone. So this is a very large percentage, and I am making the assumption that when they did this survey, they were only testing literate adults. So I would guess that this is 40% of literate adults. And we will get to those statistics later. So from that study, they identified 50 of the most difficult words to spell for adults, and that is what we're going to use for this section. We're going to use 10 of those words to practice today. And once again, put away your books, take out a paper and pencil. You don't need to think like a teacher right now. We are going to be students, so put on your student hat. The first word is government. The city government buildings are on 2nd Street. Government. How many syllables in government? 3. We will say to spell gov-ern-ment. What will we say to spell?
Gov-ern-ment.
First syllable?
Gov.
This is an ah, yep. Second syllable is earn. Use the of her. Third syllable is ment. Nt. Go ahead and spell gov-ern-ment. And help me to write it. The first syllable is gov, g, ah, v. Second syllable is earn, n. Third syllable is meant, nt. What do we mark? Underline the Why did the O say It's next to a V. O may say next to a W, TH, MN, or V. What is the root here? Govern. What did we add to the word govern? The suffix ment. So you can talk about those things. And let's go ahead and sound it out. G, a, v, n, nt. Government. So, what do you think might be the tricky part of that for people? I'm wondering if it's this, or maybe the this part. Government. That could be. The next word is humorous. Sandy thought the picture was humorous. Humorous. How many syllables in humorous? 3. We will say to spell us. What will we say to spell?
us.
First syllable is you. Second syllable is more, or. Third syllable is us. Use ow, o, oo, Ow, o, oo, Okay, first syllable, will help me write humorous. First syllable is you. Second syllable is more, or. Third syllable is us, s. All right. How will we mark the first syllable? Put a line over it. Why did the U say it's long sound? A, E, O, U usually say they're long sounds at the end of the syllable. How will we mark the second syllable? Or how will we mark the third syllable? Underline And what sound of ow, o, oo, is this? 4. Okay? What is the root word of humorous? Humor. And what does anyone know what the suffix us means? It means full of. So this literally means full of humor. The next word is symphony. The symphony orchestra is preparing for the spring concert. Symphony. How many syllables in symphony? 3. We will say to spell symphony. What will we say to spell? Symphony. First syllable is sim. I. Use ya, I, e. Second syllable is fo. O. Third syllable is ni. E, which is ya, I, e. Symphony. All right, help me write the first syllable, sim. S, I, Second syllable is fo. F, o. Third syllable is ni. E. How will we mark symphony? Underline the f. And again, don't say the names, emphasize the sounds. Why did the O say its long sound? A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable. And what about this? What sound of this is it saying? It's long sound E. You can put a 4 over it. You could put a line over it. It doesn't really matter to me. But it is saying it at the end of a multisyllable word. And let's sound it out. S, I, O, N, E, symphony. Does anyone know what this sim means? Same. Phone here is similar to the word phone. What does that mean? Sound. So a symphony has a same sound. Those vocabulary clues are all in essentials when you're teaching words like this.
For second sound. Is it the second sound?
Oh, yeah. Correct. This is the second sound. It's the first vowel sound. And when it's saying its first vowel sound, is this being a long or a short vowel? Short. We'll actually put a breve over it to show that it's short. Yep, and it's saying it's a vowel sound.
And because it's followed by a Y, it could have been a P, right?
Oh, could symphony have been spelled like this? I mean, theoretically, yes, but this is the root for same, so in that sense, no.
Cueing it, would you use that? Did you tell them?
Oh, yeah, true. You should say then this is a z. Good point. Good point. And when you're doing these, the students, if they miswrite something and they catch you in that, that's excellent. For me, the biggest purpose of this is to begin to think critically about words, right? So that they make sense, to try to understand why. All right, the next word is millennium. The world has seen a lot of changes in the last millennium. How many syllables in millennium? 4. We will say to spell millennium. What will we say to spell? Millennium. First syllable is mil, I. Use I, I, e, ya. Second syllable is len, n. Third syllable is ni, e. Use I, I, e, ya. Fourth syllable is All right, first syllable is mil, I, ol. Second syllable is len, n. Third syllable is ni, e. Fourth syllable is What do you think? What would we mark? Yeah. This has the second long sound that's found in Latin roots, and this is it, I, E, yeah. So you could put a 3 over it. We could also talk about it as its second long sound and put a line if you want. That's fine. The markings are really there to help us analyze the word. Let's read it. Millennium. And again, it takes a long time to get to the larger words if you're starting at the very beginning. Yes?
So why does it not say millennium? I know they're both long sounds, but how do we know which long sound to use, I guess? The I or the...
Oh, when we're saying to spell? Well, in this word, it's really clearly E, right? Millennium, we hear it. So I guess that's a good question. I haven't really thought about, would you say to spell a Latin E in a word with a Latin root if it was a schwa? I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's never, out of all the years I've done this, I've never actually even came across a word where I thought, well, maybe that would really be the Latin long sound. Well, you can take off your student hat and put your teacher hat back on. It's time to think from the teacher's perspective about these words. Take out your spelling analysis quick reference for multisyllable words, that side for multisyllable words, and let's step through another word, this time a word that has a schwa. You'll be the teachers and I'll be the student. So begin by saying the word.
Acquire.
Then you'll read the sentence and repeat the word.
They want to acquire all the data before drawing a conclusion. Acquire.
Then you'll ask me to count the syllables.
How many syllables?
2. And then you will say to spell for me.
Say to spell acquire.
Good. Acquire. And then I will say the first syllable, ac, and you'll finger spell and as I segment it.
So use yours. Looking at the K. Yep, use.
Good. Then I'll say choir. I'll say qua. I.
Use it. I. E.
Yeah, silent final E. And then I'll write it qua. Silent final E. And then you will write it while I segment it. Go ahead and take out your notebooks and do that for me. Qua. Silent final E. Okay? And then you'll ask me.
How do you mark it?
And I'll say, underline the qua, put a line over the I, and double underline the silent final E. And I could tell you that the vowel said its long sound because of the E. Does that make sense? Good. And then we'll read it. So go ahead and point as I read it. Acquire. Here she's asking, why do we have a silent final E? To make the vowel say its long sound. All right. So go ahead and put your student hats back on and put the spelling analysis card away, and we'll experience this just a little bit more. All right. The next word is accommodate. The room will accommodate only 2 people. Accommodate. How many syllables in accommodate? 4. We will say to spell date. What will we say to spell? Date. The first syllable is use a k. Second syllable is use a k. Third syllable is Fourth syllable is date. Silent final E. Go ahead and write date. Good. And help me to write it. First syllable is ack, ack. Second syllable is calm, k, Third syllable is mo, o. Fourth syllable is date, d, a, t. Silent final e. How will we mark accommodate? Put a line over the O. Why did it say it's long sound? It's ended this syllable. How about here? Put a line over the A, double underline the silent final E. Why do we have a silent final E in accommodate? To make the vowel say it's long sound. And then we could read it, ack, o, d, ate, accommodate. All right. All right, word number 7 is pronunciation. Well, it's fascinating to me to hear you groan, yet we give kids words like this on a list and go, good luck. And so then the way I approached it was by letter name. All right, pronunciation. Speech therapy has helped Emma with her pronunciation. Pronunciation. How many syllables in pronunciation? 5. We will say to spell pro-nun-ci-a-tion. Do you want that one more time? Pro-nun-ci-a-tion. First syllable is pro, o. Second syllable is nun, c, use a k, s, e, use it, I, e, yeah. A, Sean, sh, tall, sh, n. Pro, nun, c, a, Sean. Pronunciation.
Okay?
First syllable, pro, o, nun, c, s, e, a, sh, n. All right, how will we mark the first syllable pro? Okay, and what's the rule? A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable. Anything in pronun? None. Nope. How about C? Put a 2 over the k. C is saying its second sounds. And this is saying, yep, so we could put a I, E, yep, 3 over it, or a line if you want to call it its second long sound. How about A? It's long. Why? A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable, and then sh. All right, what do you think? Pronunciation. We can sound it out too. P, o, c, a, sh, n. Pronunciation.
So is that a schwa sound then at the end?
Yeah, there's a schwa there, right? It's an O saying it's schwa sound, and it's not stressed.
But I do have a question, because that's how to say it, to spell it, but if I'm telling someone how to say it,
Oh, right. So if you're teaching ELL, it's fine to say pronunciation. We actually make this a schwa sound, so we say here. And I think that can help non-native speakers when you're able to point out those schwas. The next word is guarantee. The company offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee for the lifetime of the product. Guarantee. How many syllables in guarantee?
3.
Good. Guarantee. 3 syllables. We will say to spell. There's 2 ways to say to spell this. So I'm going to go with gar and T. Ready? Gar and T. The first syllable is gar, g, r. Second syllable is an, a, n. Third syllable is t, t, e. Use E double E. Guarantee. All right, help me to do this one. First syllable is gar, g, r. Second syllable is an, a, n. Third syllable is t, t, e. How would we mark this? Underline the g and the r and the e. G, r, a, n, t, e. Guarantee. You could choose to do this as a short too. Guarantee. I found that really hard to say. Guarantee. Does that make sense? Either way would be fine. All right, you ready for a big word? Occasionally. Remember, these are all commonly misspelled words. We occasionally bring a picnic to the park. Occasionally. How many syllables in occasionally? 5. And once again, you are not going immediately to 5-syllable words. But we will say to spell occasionally. What will we say to spell?
Occasionally.
One more time.
Occasionally.
All right, first syllable is
Oc.
use a k. Second syllable is
K.
use a k.
A. Shun. A. N. Al. A. O. Li. O. E.
Use ya, I, e. Sound it out. Occasionally.
Okay.
Jean. Do you remember how to spell zh? This one. Totally fine, by the way, to provide that support if that's a new phonogram. All right, let's sound it out. And you just tell me the syllables and sound it out. Ah, k. Second syllable, k. Hey, k. A.
Shun. A. N. Al. A. O. Li. O. E.
Okay. How will we mark the second syllable here? Long A. Why did it say it's long sound? It's at E, O, U. Usually say they're long sounds at the end of the syllable. Underline it. And what sound of sh is this? Second. Al. How about here? Fourth sound. Okay. And here it's saying that E sound at the end of a multi-syllable word. All right. What's the root of this? Occasion, and then they added the suffix al, and then they added another suffix, li. The next word is restaurant. I'm getting a lot of laughter. I actually couldn't spell restaurant till I learned the phonograms. Then I was fine. We plan to eat out at a restaurant tonight. How many syllables in restaurant?
3.
3. So we'll say to spell rest-a-rant. Rest-a-rant. First syllable is rest. R-S-T. Second syllable is 2-letter A that you may not use at the end of English words. Rant. R-A-N-T. All right. Go ahead and help me write it. You say the syllables and sound them out.
Rest. Rest. A. Rant. Rant.
Mm-hmm. mark the ah. So this could also be an ah here, a broad A, restaurant. If you say it like that, go ahead and spell it with that broad A sound and then mark it as a broad A. So that's also fine. Oh, some people say restaurant, ah, really clearly, the broad A sound. If you say it like that, go ahead and say to spell rest-a-rant with that broad A sound and mark it that way. Oh, restaurant, and as a short. No, but some people say a schwa sound there. Restaurant, unt. So, does that make sense? So, I think it's non-stressed. All right. What do you think? Was that helpful to understanding these words?
And it helped me when I was focusing on just the one thing and being the student, as opposed to all these other things. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's tricky, right, to think about all these things at one time. And I think that we can develop a lot of compassion for our students that way. I was also getting tons of signals from the Logic of English staff that I was sounding the words out with you. But it is really important. I don't know if you noticed I think it was occasionally, you guys did that totally on your own. And at first, you do need to offer support, but did you notice you can begin to withdraw that support? Now, if we were not adding a syllable every other word, we actually would have been picking up the pace, too. And pretty soon, you don't even need to really cue them so much as go, say the word, table. You're all seated at a table. How many? And you wouldn't even need to say how many syllables and for them to repeat it. They just get the routine, and it moves really fast. So when I was working in one of our local elementary schools, I would go in every week and do their spelling lists, and I would dictate 15 words with them in, 10 minutes. I mean, we could just go fast, and that was a third grade class with many 2, 3, even some 4-syllable words. But they got into a routine, and I got into a routine. And it takes a while because it has to be both the teacher and the students getting into that rhythm. But once you get into it, it flows. Does that make sense? And that's kind of fun. I find it can be kind of this high-energy experience. But one of the challenges in a class like this is we just keep ramping up the difficulty of the words with every word. And I will go on to say a really great way to help yourself gain just confidence is pull out a list of words for the grade that you teach and try to say to spell them, try to mark them, try to understand why. As you go through and do that, you'll be amazed at how many, one, aha moments you have about spelling, but two, how that just builds your confidence with this material. Because most of us were never taught how English actually works. And so it just takes practice using it in words. And then what all the teachers have always told me is kids get excited and they are seeing it everywhere. So they're not just bringing this to their reading block or their phonics block, but they're bringing it to science and history. And that's totally fine, right? Because they now have the skills to break down these large multisyllable academic words and understand why they're spelled that way. They begin to look for the roots. They begin to look for suffixes, prefixes, and vocabulary is coming, and we will get into how that also helps them.